Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Straight after the El Clasico game between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid, which obviously ended 2-1 to Real Madrid, I posted this on Twitter. Comment your thoughts on the El Clasico and I will react to it for a video because I wanted to know Madrid fans' opinions, Barca fans' opinions, and other opinions, and then, have my opinion on it if I agree or disagree. 73 comments, let's do this. Watching the game, I saw that we are 20 level above these two teams. And I mean, I guess that's football for us Paris Saint-Germain fans nowadays. When we watch other teams, it's a complete difference between us and them. Obviously, 20 levels. I mean, that's a bit too much, but no, we're definitely levels above, the top teams in Europe. The only one maybe not is Bayern München, and that will obviously be decided when we face each other, which is very great that we face each other. But no, definitely the level between us and both Barca and Madrid this game levels. Next time, Yamal needs to keep his mouth shut. I hope you learned a valuable lesson today. For me, I just don't understand the point of it. For me, I'm someone that wants to win. Whether I'm playing a football game, whether I'm playing a game on the PC with my friends, whether I'm playing a board game with my friends, whatever I'm doing, I want to win. I don't like to lose. But winning is enough for me. If I win a game, I don't need to trash talk before the game. I don't need to trash talk after the game. I've won. Winning is 100% of the reward for me. People like this, unfortunately, especially the ones that have a big ego, a win, Barca winning against Madrid, is not enough for Yamal. Yamal being crucial in Barca winning over Madrid is not enough for Yamal. He needs to talk shit, whether it's before, whether it's after the game, during the game, wherever it is. And I don't know why. Usually that comes from insecurity. Usually that comes from, issues with self-confidence, not fully believing in yourself, having to have everyone against you. That way you will feel you're him. I think it stems from very low self-esteem and low confidence levels. And I want to respond to this because he's been posting this, basically every single tweet. This Alex dude, what do you notice PSG? And so it's two tweets. This is me tweet, 89 likes, tweet by Yamal 2.7, and another tweet here, 74 likes, another one, 26 likes. And then Yamal gets a lot of likes. And, I would never disagree. Yamal does get a lot of likes. So I have nothing more to say about that. What do you notice, Pigeon? Some kind of pattern. I can... What am I supposed to do with that? Is it my fault that people are liking the tweets? Next up here, are Real Madrid and their fans hypocrites? Vinicius Jr., new era? I don't know what game this was. Oh, this was when Bellingham scored the brace, I think. That first El Clasico. Jude Bellingham liked... Bastoni pitcher, Chouameni like a Bellingstone. I don't understand how. I don't understand that. What that's supposed to mean. And yeah, obviously Madrid players, and there are some Madrid players that have said bad stuff and done negative stuff. But the main issue here, why I wouldn't really call it hypocrites, because none of this is anywhere close to the unprofessionalism that Lamine Yamal has been showing. This, you can compare it to the, some of the photos that Yamal posted on his Insta. That's comparable. But when you look at the other stuff, it's not even close. But are Madrid fans hypocrites? Would they be calm if Vini did the same? Yeah. And I've said the same about the Barca and the Madrid fan base. Barca were cussing out Vini all the time. Yamal does the same and even worse stuff. They're okay with it. Same goes for Madrid fans. They've been defending Vini this entire time for his antics. Yamal starts doing it and they attack him while still defending Vini. So, yeah, I would say both are somewhat hypocrites. Okay, be real with me. Do you really think Vini being subbed for Rodrigo is tactically or it comes from the top? And what do you think about Jude? Are they in big games? Or a lot of questions here. I think the reason Vini got subbed out is because Xabi Alonso wanted to bring Rodrigo on. It's that simple. And I think the second thing, especially with Mbappe and Jude getting subbed off, yes, it was much later. I think Xabi was a little bit scared. Majority went up. They got the penalty. Mbappe misses the penalty. And I think after that, he started wanting to take less risks. So he took out Vinicius Jr. And Vinicius was a little bit calm in the second half compared to the first half. What do you think about Jude? I thought Jude in this game was really good. Arda in big games still has a way to go. And which position did you play Mbappe in 21-22 season? Was it left wing? Mbappe has never been really left wing. He's been more of a left forward. For example, the game versus Madrid, I think we played with a Di Maria, Messi, Mbappe attack. And then in the second game, we played Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. So Mbappe was basically as a left forward, left striker. Mbappe just wants tons of freedom between the central and the left wing. He wants all of that space. That's basically it. If Pedri wants to step up in his career, he has to join PSG. I think Pedri should look at, some of the biggest recent Barca players. Dembele, Messi, Neymar, Xavi Simons, Arnautenas, and try to join that. But in all honesty, I don't think, Barca last season were in the Champions League semi-final, win everything and so on. But if he continues, why not play under your favorite manager? I mean, Pedri has been vocal that Luis Enrique is the best manager he's ever played under. Madrid got robbed and still won. Yamal lost his Clasico for Barca before it started. That is true. That's why I would never promote trash talking. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's nice. I don't see any point to it. For me, if I want to beat someone, I beat him in the ring. Outside, that's for, the people that can't do it in the ring. They talk outside of the ring. It's like, the people, when it comes to a fight, the one that usually talks the most is the one that loses the fight. And the one that is quiet is usually the one that wins the fight. Robbed, I wouldn't say you were robbed. For example, the first one, the Vinny Yamal one. I don't think, logically, I don't think that's a penalty. But I've seen so many of those penalties awards. So when I saw that, I was like, this has to be a pen. But apart from that, I don't know what else Madrid got robbed about. Analyze Xavi's second half defensive structure, bro. It's perfectly executed against Barca with high off the ball position. Yeah, you were pressing high in many times in that second half, or you were sitting back. You didn't really sit in between, in the middle between them. You didn't leave space in front or behind, in like a mid block or something. And I felt, Real were really, really good defensively in that second half, defending that 2-1 lead. And Barca barely created any chances. The thing is, Barca have looked weak offensively for a while. So it'll be interesting if this can be replicated when you guys play each other again. I don't like the way you hate Lamine's trash talk, because this is what makes the sport interesting. Again, you know what? Look, this may be your guys' opinion. Maybe you guys think the sport becomes interesting with trash talking. I just disagree with that. My favorite MMA fighter. MMA is probably the sport. No, it is definitely the sport with most trash talking, with boxing and all of that. And who's my favorite? It's Khabib. Someone that never trash talks. Someone that was performing art in the ring, but never did it outside. I remember in the beginning when I got to UFC, MMA, you saw McGregor. You saw him confident, saying, I'm going to knock this dude out in the first round. And then he does that. He became like the first athlete to win 2 belts in the UFC and everything. But then when he was going to face Khabib, I went from being a small McGregor fan to being a Khabib fan. Why? Because McGregor absolutely embarrassed himself before the match and during the match. And it's the same thing here. I've never enjoyed trash talking. Yes, there are probably people that enjoy trash talking. Maybe those people trash talk themselves. I'm someone that never trash talks. So I don't enjoy people that trash talk. It's that simple. I don't think it's interesting. The most interesting for me is the actual game. What happens during the game? And you know what? You can trash talk during the game. If I see Lamine Yamal going to Vinny like this and tell him something bad, come, you're during the game. You can trash talk however much you want during the 90 minutes on the pitch, even though you should just focus on your football. But at least there it makes more sense. But sitting in a podcast the day before, chilling, and then dropping a stinker. So yeah, I don't think trash talk is good. I don't think it's interesting. I don't need it. The sport doesn't need it. People are saying, oh, the sport is dead without trash talking. Everyone agrees that peak football was maybe 2010s. There was no trash talking. There was no Yamal trash talking. So I've never understood these arguments about trash talking and it makes the sport interesting. You should stop watching football if you need trash talking for it to be interesting. Then I miss him. He initiates our press. Again, similarities to Ousmane Dembele. We had Dembele and Mbappe. Rafinha, Yamal, it's different ages, different stuff and so on. But Dembele and Mbappe. When Mbappe one season couldn't lead the team. Everyone has seen that video when Luis Enrique cusses Mbappe out. And then you have Dembele, who did exactly what Lucho wanted, who led the team from the press, from the goals, from the assists, from everything. That's what Rafinha did. And he was definitely missed because Lamine could not lead the team today. No one. I would say the one that was trying the most was probably Pedri. He took the biggest leader role in the team this game. Maybe Szczesny individually as well. But yeah, definitely lacked leaders. I think Inigo Martinez is a big leader miss as well. Stuff like this makes me love my club even more. No egos, no pre-match trash talk, just ballers waiting to show it on the pitch. Yamal deserves this for all the mockery. It wasn't a close game, and Madrid had the better chances, and Barca just made many useless passes, did nothing. And I do agree. I'm very happy that Paris Saint-Germain have gone away from that, have moved on from that. I mean, it wasn't like we didn't have some, like Neymar wasn't trash talk. Like the biggest thing I remember from Neymar was when he arrived to the game, he used to have his what's it called? The audio. Music in a head, speaker with music. He did that maybe 2-3 times. I remember, I think he did that for Dortmund, maybe some buying game as well. He did it very few times. It's way less than what Yamal is doing, and he actually dropped massive classes. I remember versus Dortmund. He was so confident, guys, the goal, and guys threw the tie. Show on the pitch, Yamal deserved this mockery, 100%. Yeah, agreed. Madrid looked great on the ball today. Could have easily been 4 or 5 goals for Madrid. We saw Mbappe exposing the high line. I don't hate Barca at all. I hope Lamine learned this lesson, becomes more humble. He's really talented player, but the ego needs to go. I agree with that last sentence. I don't know if Madrid looked that great on the ball. I think Madrid looked effective on the ball. They only had 34% possession, but they did a lot with that 34% possession. Could have been easily 4 or 5. It could have been. If Mbappe scores his pen, if he's a little bit more clinical in front of goal, if Szczesny doesn't make a couple of saves. I don't know what that means. Madrid, robbery as always. I accept we're bad and we're nowhere near our best. But clearest foul on Kubarsi for second goal. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I remember Kubarsi was laying down on the floor, but I was like, yeah, he's just diving as usual. Penalty for them for a rebound. Penalty for them for a rebound. You know, it is the rules. I mean, Carvajal didn't go for ball, made the foul on Araujo. Yeah. Undeserving red card for Pedri. Come on, man. Be stronger. Like, it's completely okay to say your team was bad and you deserve to lose. It's completely calm. Like, you can't be perfect all the time. And, you know, sometimes you have to be humbled. And this is for the team. You know, we had a very humbling period in the beginning of the season, last season. And look how strong that made us. So, be humble. Bellingham, Camavinga, bossed the midfield against Barca. But I don't know about bossed. Boss is a very strong word. But Bellingham and Camavinga, I enjoyed what they were doing in those right spaces. Then you got Chouameni and Güler, who are a little bit more centrally. Valverde pushing up with Bellingham and Camavinga sometimes as well. But I really enjoyed what they were doing on that right-hand side. I mean, they were less of midfielders. They were more basically... I know it was very weird formation by Xabi Alonso, but worked to a T. Jude Bellingham mugged Pedri. Yeah, I think Bellingham moves away as the better player in this game. Fair. Nothing to say about it. Even Real Madrid had a terrible defense of Asensio, Vasquez, Tchouameni, and Garcia. Real Madrid to make excuses, but those for us with only Rafinha and Garcia out. I mean, those are bigger players, though. But, you know, that's something I can somewhat respect Madrid for. For example, I remember when you won the UCL, the most recent one, with Bellingham, Vinny, and so on. I remember you missed so many players during that run. Obviously, Courtois only being able to play in the Champions League final, but I rarely saw Madrid fans using that as an excuse. Quite the opposite. When you won a game, you were just extra proud that despite missing players, you could have gone through. And yeah, Barca, unfortunately, their fans do use a lot of excuses after defeats. Do you know the club name fully for Barcelona? No, I just know Barca. I just know Barca. Fully for Wow. Fully for Barca would be any team in the world. Would be Paris Saint-Germain 8-1, Bayern 9-0, Madrid 6-0. Job application. Yamal stinker. It definitely was. Barcelona was never that good. Carlo Ancelotti made them look good. Again, even in a poor performance, it's hard to compliment Barca after this performance, but the thing with Barca, this is not the same Barca as last season. They're not as good. It's not just this game. It's basically every single game they played this season. It's not being good enough. So, yeah. First half was great. Second half was just poor football. So far, it seems like PSG, Bayern, Arsenal are Champions League candidates. Does Arsenal really deserve to be there already, man? But I guess sure. Those are the top three at the moment. Barca during the dressing room definitely hates Yamal deep down. Sets them up every big game. Okay, I'm gonna give my opinion how I feel the dressing room of Barca. You gotta put yourself in a Barca player's shoes. You're performing well. The team's performing well. And then suddenly this kid comes from the academy. Insane talent. At his age, you can't believe it. He performs. He cooks. He grows. Day by day by day. He just grows. But there came a moment where the overratement became too big. And that came to Yamal's head. And that affected him, his performances. And I think a lot of Barca players, even though you've never seen them say it or in the media, do feel like Yamal needs, how can I say this, boundaries. At the moment, he feels like a borderless person. He can do whatever he wants. Will never get criticized. I don't think his dad has an actual father role where he tells Yamal, this is not good. You shouldn't do that. I don't think he has ever told Yamal, don't do that. Basically, you know, raising him, parenting him. And that has left, you know, maybe some Barca players sometimes feeling they need to take a father figure. Not really the Barca players. One person that definitely feels some kind of responsibility for having a father figure for Yamal is Hansi Flick. I don't know about hate. Hate is a very strong word. But they definitely don't enjoy what Yamal is doing. They definitely don't. You know, De Jong had to come out at some weird press conference trying to victimize Yamal, that he's some genius and Carvajal is to be blamed, that Yamal is a victim. And it's unfortunate if that's what the actual Barca players believe in. But I don't believe. I think De Jong is a cuck, so his opinion genuinely does not matter. But Rafinha definitely has some negative thoughts about him. You're absolutely right. The whole world owes you an apology. For the people that can't hear this video. Wait, let me actually, I can put on sound, I think. Lamine Yamal is such a unraised kid. He's not a raisedly well kid. Because why? He's gotten all of this from his father. His father, I mean, recently got stabbed, which... yeah, for the people that don't know, this was a video I uploaded, January last year, closing in on 1 year ago. Where basically just exposed Yamal, my opinions, how I feel about him, his demeanor, that he's arrogant, that he's a narcissist, that he's an ego. People didn't want to believe, people didn't want to listen. And one of the points I made was his father, that he's not raised him well. And I think every person agrees with me now. Because most Barca fans, instead of attacking Yamal directly, they indirectly attack his father. So to still, you know, victimize Yamal a little bit. So everyone has jumped on this bandwagon. But yeah, I'm very happy that I was the first to see it. You know, because the difference between me and others is the pattern I need to see doesn't need to be as big as others. I think others, they need Yamal to do some horrific stuff for like 3 years to finally accept. It's like Mbappe. Mbappe was asked for 3 years, but it took people nearly 3 years to say, yeah, you know what? He hasn't been that great these past 3 years. You got to be first. You got to be honest. You got to be immediately there. And I was there. Thank you for the apology, man. It's accepted. What do you think about the end with the fight to Yamal and all this stuff? I don't exactly know what happened. I saw Vinny, I saw Rafinha, saw Araujo, saw Yamal, obviously saw Carvajal. I don't know exactly who instigated the fight, what happened, but honestly, when I saw it, I was like, Primal Clasico is back. Primal Clasico is back. And I like a rivalry. You know, this is what the Premier League, the filthy Premier League has done. It's ruined rivalries. You know, there's no rivalry in the Premier League. United players don't hate City players. And, you know, hate is some of a strong word, but at least on the 90 minutes on the pitch, those are your rivals. Those are your rivals. So very happy that this rivalry is back. I don't exactly know what happened, who instigated whatever happened, so I don't have any thoughts about it, honestly. Yamal brought back the heat in El Clasico, got under everyone's skin. I don't really think so, because we got heat in El Clasico many times before. So we've seen heat before Yamal, we've seen heat with Yamal, and we see heat after Yamal. But yeah, if you... Look, this is a Barca fan. If you're happy there is heat in El Clasico because your player is talking shit and then dropping a stinker when your team lost, then you have totally wrong priorities. And I legit don't understand Barca fans who are still defending this. Boost the game PR. Xabi Alonso masterclass? No, Kamavinga. I think he was man marking Pedri countless of times this game. Yeah. Yamal has been screwing. Yamal needs to be more serious. He tries the same thing over and over and needs to improve his shot technique. 100%, man. Militao could have Tchouaméni and Jude more appreciation. Militao, yes. You know, huge in that Juventus game, huge here. Carreras, I think this is his first big game, good performance. Tchouaméni has been really good so far this season. And Jude, one really good game. Was cheeky in the Juve game. Let's see if he can do it more. I think Real Madrid deserved to win by a big score. Plus, the referee was unfair to Madrid by not ordering a clear penalty kick and Mbappe's rocket goal because the ball reached Mbappe from Lopez and not Arda. Okay, so you're saying that Arda didn't touch it? Okay. I mean, that makes sense if it's true. We obviously didn't see that angle. But now stop this robbery stuff and so on. Xabi killed the vibe and the energy on the pitch. Towards second half, 100%. But I think after Mbappe missed that pen, Xabi was a little bit scared if he didn't win the game. We obviously saw the reports before the game. Heavy pressure on Xabi Alonso. Really wanted to win the game. Madrid must have got some decisions like the offside decision in favor, but they accused them of robbing. Yamal should talk before all the upcoming Clásicos, so we humble him and the Mbappe banger wasn't offside. I ain't gonna sit here and believe that he was. I think Yamal should just play football. I think he should just play football. Perform. You know, instead of critiquing him by his words and everything, I'm critiquing him by his performance. How can... You're the number 10. So-called best player in the Barca team, second player in the Ballon d'Or. Biggest league game of the season. El Clasico away at the Bernabeu. And you do that. Kylian will win the Ballon d'Or this season. Watch the space. Could be. If Madrid got to do something big in the UCL. But obviously, the World Cup is what will matter. And I see France as one of the favorites. Only for Barcelona and a back pass, they dislodge goal season for offside. I think Madrid has found their starting lineup to move forward. Stop the right wing gimmick and play with this lineup. 100%. You know, I never thought this was an idea. I never thought about it. I thought dropping Jude, playing him more of a three-man midfielder would work. But what Xabi did, play the three-man midfield, play Jude as the fourth midfielder, as a winger that can go inside. I mean, it's a tactical genius, honestly. Because I didn't see it. And, you know, I say in front of a PC, I can drag Jude here, try anything out. But props to Xabi for coming up with that. And I think that's definitely how Madrid should play. It also makes you better defensively. Because you're more of a... Profile-wise, you're more of a 4-4-2 then. You're playing with 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 2 attackers. So it definitely works for Madrid well. Barca could have come back, especially after penalty missed by Mbappe and that Fermin Lopez chance. Barca, without injuries, could have won easily. Madrid still has problems. Yeah, I somewhat agree. I think if this game is played again, for me, Barca, it's not just injuries. It's the form you guys are in. You guys are not in good form. Your players are not in good form. That's another thing. It's not just the injuries. So if Madrid, if this game is played again, obviously, hopefully in the Supercopa de España, like in January, if Madrid continue their good form, Barca come into good form, get their players back, that game will be different for sure. Is Yamal good enough to play for PSG? I think Yamal is obviously good enough to play for PSG, but I wouldn't like him because of his antics. Barca's other attacks had a much more worse game than Lamine, but they will go under the radar. I felt Rashford had a better game than Yamal. Got an assist, was here and there. But again, it's all about the expectations. It's all about the expectations. I mean, why would that matter? Why would that matter? Why are you looking at Ferran Torres, who just came back from a month injury? Why are you looking at Rashford, who's been asked for like 7 years? Why am I not looking at Yamal, who just came second in the Ballon d'Or? Yamal needed this humbling because this kid talks too much. Also, anytime job sick, there's always an excuse. That is true. Unfortunately, I don't think Yamal will be humbled with this. He will just do the same again. Unfortunately. Can Bellingham come back to his best? I don't think he will be able to match that. Mostly profile-wise, he will never. He won't play in the same spaces. He will not have the same game. But we may see a new Jude Bellingham. Mbappe's low-key shit off Mav. I don't think Mbappe was shit, but he was a little bit under. I think both Bellingham and Vinny were better than him in attack. Mr. Pen, missed 3-4 chance. Lucky Barca wasn't at their best. Not man of the match. Oh, Mbappe got man of the match? Okay, yeah, that's I disagree with. Just way better. Politics connection from Mbappe. Yeah, no, I actually now remember Mbappe got... I was tweeting a lot after the game, so I didn't, like, concentrate on it, but yeah, Mbappe completely undeserved man of the match. Tchouaméni needs some appreciation. Apart from last season, he's been at least top 3. Yeah? I agree with that. I agree with that. How I think the next Clasico game is going to end up. More goals. Both from Madrid side. Now that they've beaten Barca, they'll be more confident in their ability as well. But Barca will definitely cause way more stuff offensively than when Madrid did this game. Truman is instrumental for Madrid. Yes. Lamine Yamal asking Madrid players to enter the tunnel is wild considering he can stink it up. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I haven't even seen the report. I saw someone tweet about it. Yamal was asking the Madrid players to go into the tunnel. Weird behavior. Weird behavior. Are Madrid still underdogs for UCL? If I had to do a ranking, if I'm going to do PSG, Bayern, Arsenal as top 3, I think Madrid are 4th. I put them ahead of Barca for the moment. I think I can't wait for Yamal. Thoughts on Jude, agenda aside? No, I thought he was good. Good game from Jude. Is the player Barca think Pedri is? No. Completely disagree. I just should not play deep. It will harm us in the long run. Agree. Agree. But I think maybe Xabi played tactics that suited how you play Barca. Maybe you play a bit differently. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Güler would not be playing in the position that he's been cooking in the beginning of the season. But today, he was still in some good areas. I felt he wasn't the best today. Barcelona Italy from being accused of paying millions to referee in a penalty case with a lot of proof to somehow convince everyone that Real Madrid are the ones being favored. Fans a lot and media outlets too. I think the biggest thing with Madrid, whilst let's say us non-Barca Madrid fans look at Madrid as a bigger someone that pays the referee than Barca, it's mostly because of the Champions League. Yes, this happens in La Liga. You know, La Liga happens all the time between both clubs, but in the Champions League, obviously, Madrid have been more favored than Barca. Not saying that Barca haven't been favored in the Champions League by the referees, but Madrid have been more. That's why people have the opinion that Madrid are more favored. Should marry his girlfriend? I don't think so. Vin is still one of the best winners of plans, becoming underrated. Maybe by some, but yeah, I think Vinny is steadily working on and coming back to his best. Both teams are still shit. Bayern, PSG, and Arsenal are putting 3 goals in both. No, and I don't know why you put Arsenal with PSG. I get the top 3 thing, but putting 3 goals in both, you could say that about Bayern and PSG, 2 amazing attacking teams. Arsenal is like beating them 1-0 with a set piece. Like, man, I hate Arsenal, man. He can't. He can't. Fully fit Jude's best midfielder in the world with Vitinha. Stop, man. What do you mean fully fit? You're moving like Barca fans with Pedri before, man. Stop it. Yamal stinker still will play. Only losing 2-1 with our left wing striker goalkeeper and need the backup says a lot. Okay. I mean, do you want a pad on your back?
I'll see you later, my love.
You could have lost the game more, man. And not because you defended so well or something. Maybe Szczesny can give him some prop, but because Madrid didn't take their chances. But this was more of a 3-1 game. Maybe even 4-1. We'll see what happens when in the return leg of the El Clasico with our squad back. Madridiots don't know how to act when they win once out of 5 times. No, I definitely think the second game will be different. And I do agree that I think Madrid fans have celebrated this game too much. And yeah, Madrid fans, I felt they celebrated the game too much and their players celebrated this game too much as well. But look, this game just ended, but I'm so excited already for the next El Clasico. All I talk about is Barca Lamine more than his own club. I mean, at the moment, Barca are playing versus Real Madrid. Am I supposed to talk about PSG then? Like these narratives, man. Honestly, a pretty good game viewing standpoint. Barca dominated the position while Madrid hit on the counter-attack and were dismantling the high line. Tech had a very good game, 9 saves, and saved the penalty as well. To be honest, most equal the teams have been in years. Good thought there. Because how I feel from last season is Barca has regressed. They can still come back to a better level at the end of the season maybe, but they've regressed since last season, and Madrid have improved since last season. So yeah, I agree. It's quite fair. It's quite fair. I think Barca maybe needed the Rafinha for it to be fully fair game. Rashford was still decent, but they needed another top bar. I do agree with that. People said Mbappe was poor, but minus his decisive play that did what he needed to do. Only the penalty was unfortunate. It wasn't unfortunate. He missed the penalty. And he had some other couple of good chances. And you got to remember, Madrid only won this game 2-1, having to defend a lot in that second half. If Mbappe scored, it would have been a different game. The way Vinny acted towards Yamal was very childish. It was. But honestly, I'm going to defend Vinny in this situation. I think it was childish the way he did it. He was screaming. People having to hold him off. Also, Yamal is standing there like more ice cold. not being had to hold off or something. But you know what? Vinny's just reacting to what Yamal said. So we always got to look at the prior issue rather than the reaction. The narrative that Madrid gets fit. Militao is the monster, that's it. He is a monster. Monster in the Juventus game and monster this game. Yamal needs to be disciplined and needs to shut the fuck up before he matches and let his actions speak. It's embarrassing him and his club. You know what? Again, he could be maybe just a... But this dude sounds like an actual Barca fan. This is legit what Barca fans should be saying. He needs to be disciplined. I think that's a common thing. He needs to shut the fuck up before matches. I agree. And let his actions speak. 100%. It's embarrassing him and this club. 100%. 100%. Yo, shout out to this dude, man. I will like it after when I respond to these. Rafinha and Pedro are Barcelona's best player without a doubt. I mean, I'll put Pedro, Rafinha, and Yamal. Just because Yamal had a bad game today doesn't remove him as one of the best Barca players. But I think, you know, the narratives that were created after that satanic Inter tie are becoming exposed. The Yamal best player in the world. The Yamal carries Barca, everyone else's ass. Rafinha can't do anything without Yamal. Pedri this and all of that. I think those excuses are getting exposed now. Luckily. But I think Pedri, Rafinha, Yamal are obviously that trident at Barca. And that trident is like far away from the other Barca players. And I think that's an issue. Barca needs better players in the team. Obviously, economical problems and issues makes that very hard though. 31 minutes. That finishes it off. We were at 73 comments in 31 minutes. An average of 1 comment every 30, 40 seconds something. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. That's been it from boy PSG. And as usual, allez Paris.